Welcome to the final match day of the Simulation Soccer League Season 7. I'm Socc, joined by Sarah, the voiceless creator. It's match day 14 in Division 2, Paddy, with a title locked up, but a promotion battle still to decide. Sarah, I'm looking forward to what we've got going on for this last match. Let's see what we have in store tonight.
Yeah, well, we've got the big match to watch. That is Buenos Aires versus Reykjavik. Reykjavik potentially with a chance to upset for Buenos Aires here. Of course, Montreal with their own job to do in that regard. And those two matches coming a little bit later, but we start with ASP. Sorry, yes, it is ASP taking on AC Romana.
Yeah, and I mean, this is kind of a coronation ceremony for them as they kind of shocked our casters last time out when it was found out they were actually clear to win the title. And so now AC Romana pretty much just fighting for a little bit of extra position at this point in time. Of course, the new expansion club has had a decent start. I mean, the best of most of the expansion starts, 5-1-7. The win might see them overtake Seoul, depending on the result of their match. But that is still to come. Of course, Seoul will be facing Red Star Laos, and that will be the last match of the day that we will cover.
Now, this is what I would call for ASP the stat padding match.
Yeah, I mean, coronation was about right as a save by Hill to turn that aside for a corner. And the corner comes in, and Horvat puts it through. Well, there's a pad, I suppose, and it gives them the lead in this match.
Horvat's playing as a striker today. He's playing as a striker in the 4-2-4 that ASP have deployed.
Ooh, I like it. So they have not just Papadopoulos at the front this time. They decided to add in Milan Horvat.
Yes.
So who else do they have playing up front, guys? I know they do have Isabel Cortez, but I'm not sure who will be playing on that left side.
So, on the right-hand side, it is Alistar.
The right-hand side, interesting.
And on the left-hand side is Cortez.
Does seem to be the way they're playing right now, but with Cortez just receiving that throw in on the right flank and now cutting in field for a shot that put off target.
I apologize. I've gotten my left and rights mixed up. On the left is Alistar, on the right is Cortez.
I see. That's why whenever we have to communicate, we say towards me and towards you. That isn't actually the case. I just like to think that it is. Anyway.
I had a moment of pride, okay? So I always use my hands, and this time I didn't. And I got it wrong.
Yeah. Fair enough then. All right. Well, AC Romana now looking to make a counterattack here to try and equalize a quarter of the way through the game. Brisky just misses that one. Fast Latito looked like he had an angle, but instead just walks it back for Milton Nunez back inside, but blocked for a corner. The shot from Fast Latito sent out by Newport. Ball whipped in now and headed away there by Newport. And the danger cleared. Back in field looking. Jeremiah ends up sweeping up a clearance. Worked over Fast Latino, and that one was turned for a deflection by Lavere. And went out for a goal kick.
Now, interestingly enough, AC Romana are also lined up in a bit of a variation of the 4-2-4.
Yeah, that's McAllister shot wide. Why don't you go on about that one?
Well, the variation we're seeing here is in the midfield. They have an attacking midfielder and a central midfielder, but neither really gonna be in the midfield too much. Jeremiah, the roaming midfielder.
Interesting. And how is their other midfielder who I don't think you mentioned? How are they playing?
Which other midfield? King?
Yes, King.
King's just in the attacking midfield, so he's gonna sit further up the pitch.
Okay, so it's more of a 4-1-1-4 than anything else, but
yeah,
an interesting methodology that they've gone with, and you know, might as well go experiment given there's nothing more to play for than perhaps draft position maybe. Newport heads that one away for Lavere to not have a chance against Barfoot. Corner to be taken.
What's notable about this formation, though, is its aggressiveness. It's despite being similar tactically to AS Perry, it's a much more aggressive variant. Not that we're seeing it.
Yeah, and I feel like that's more just because Paddy have been able to quell any sort of aggression that they've really been able to try and show. As now Paddy looking to make a break. Risky was, well, I thought it was going to be an offside whistle, but no, the flag went to the corner spot as his cross came off of Fasolatido. Or didn't head it away by Fasolatido. Newport there at the edge of the area gives back to Brisky. He's playing a fair bit up for centre back. Marked by Jeremiah. Give it back to Oak. They look to go to Brisky, but a Newport. Oh, to Oak. Back in for Brisky. Covered by Smart. Goes back inside Cortez. Back with Brisky. And with the cross for McAllister to tap it in. All of that play on the right side. They fall asleep on the left. And it's McAllister who ends up slotting home the tap in.
Incredibly worked by AS Perry here. You can see how much time they spend on this side. It just draws all the defenders over, like you said. Kind of a sleeping effect, but McAllister there to put that home.
That was left wide open against Stojakovic, and not really going to make much of a mistake there, even from what was may have been considered a narrow angle. There's enough there to fit a ball in. Cortez now looking for free, tries to get it to Horvath, but he did get it, but couldn't find any other support players back there. Now Schweinsteiger looking to mount the run. Move back to Nunez, I believe that is. Now to Jeremiah. Tyson Nunez, correction. Now Schweinsteiger, his shot blocked by Zanetti and out for a corner. Over to the far post, but Levere can't direct it on target. %90 of the way through this first half, and AS Paddy just looking to perhaps cement that lead. Nettie just won it back from Schweinsteiger. Horvath, a long try, saved by Hall. Papadopoulos kept it in. It's back out to Zanetti. He goes over for Hall, trying to look for ball, but Hill. I was getting my double L last names confused, and ends up being the keeper that takes it into his grasp. Now Romana looking to showcase some of that aggression that was mentioned earlier. Jeremiah, the long ball, but great save by Bartlett. Pretty much a full stretch to get to that one, though.
Just leaped up the snare. It never looked like a threatening opportunity, but Bartlett sure made a dramatic save there.
Yeah, well, I mean, when you're that small in stature, it's kind of no real surprise. That takes us to halftime, and despite AC Romana having a majority of possession, they've also been a far more aggressive team, committing more fouls, and haven't really had the quality of chances you'd expect.
Yeah, AS Perry have been very good on the counter, and it's forced Romana to foul more often to stop it. We're seeing the midfield kind of break down, right? We're often seeing the ball drift past the midfielders or over top of the midfield, and then play it onto the forwards, right? And to stop that, they're having to foul the pass before. So we'll see if that continues, because that's going to spell some trouble with the ref. And of course, it's been difficult for AC Romana to attack as well.
Yep. And there was one change that was made, I believe, in that halftime break. Ronaldo da Silva has come on for Jeremiah. Levere trying to whip one in for Schweinsteiger, but headed out by a Washburn. Also headed away back by Stojakovic. Now Schweinsteiger down the right side. Tops up, goes for a low cross, looking for Tyson Nunez, but was well read by McAllister. Clearance, however, went right back to Nunez. Silva now, Zanetti got him away of it, better put Schweinsteiger on! And Schweinsteiger scores one to put one right back at half the deficit.
Amir Schweinsteiger, fourth goal of the season for him from an awkward angle. I'm sure he had a good look at it, but this is awkward for Bori Bartlett, this sort of angle. You don't really expect him to put it where he does. You kind of expect the center back to turn his shoulder and get in front of that even. But really well placed.
Yeah, I think it was actually a little bit screened there by Murphy to Mountain. I was just seeing the ball there. Either way, the goal comes back and an equalizer chance there. Facilitito, I think, try to put it to the far side. It looks like Bartlett really have that near side covered, but chance to equalize is saved. Bartlett opts to immediately clear it out. Hold that now. Papadopoulos, that's a 2-goal swing. Leonidas Papadopoulos, what a great counter-attack.
They get it right back, AS3, and I talked about it earlier in the game. They are really good on the counter, and sometimes they don't even need to bring it up the midfield. They just need someone to be on that receiving end and put it on to Papadopoulos. This time it's Milan Horvat playing on the secondary striker position, and Papadopoulos just slots that home.
Yeah, I mean, just watching that, it seemed like he just fired in a perfect ball, honestly. And also a very well-timed run there. So, cannot complain about the service.
Division 2 will not be missing him. Division 1 are dreading his return.
Well, one can only hope that he doesn't end up being loaned back out. Ugh, that's horrifying. And if he goes back into the D2 again just to torture them even further. I don't imagine that AS Paddy will want to be relinquishing his services for when they head up. Five at the top of the competition is there he goes. Almost able to see that one through, but ends up being out for a corner.
I would think he would continue with them. He is, after all, their player manager.
That's a good point. Just ignore that fact. Either way, there's another shot from long range. I think it was from Tyson King and saved there by Bartlett.
It's a good headline, though. Just like that would have been if that was a goal. Instead, that's a big save by Corey Hill.
Yeah, Corey Hill gave it right back to Horvat, but had to make the save. Well enough of that, at least. Really got away from him. Cleared back out, and when Smart got it to Levert. Has to turn around, goes back to Milton Nunez. Had it sent right back to him. Inside Papadopoulos, goes to Alistair. Back for Oak for midfield. He's looking to spread it wide now. Alistair goes out to Zanetti. Zanetti back in the field. Look for Horvat, couldn't find him. Frisky with a corner kick. Cleared away there by Facilitito. Cortez, however, gets the scraps on it. Back in by Cortez and found his Risky on the other side. Low centering pass for Oak outside the area. Signs just to reset things to go back to Zanetti. Out to Bartlett once more. Bartlett clears deep. Smart. Levert. Oh, I feel he might have just gone for one there, but instead just goes back to Facilitito. Bartlett able to get back to his line. Nunez across. Miro Schweinsteiger. Header for King, but the head-to-head there, but Bartlett again was there for it.
I've seen it work once or twice, but typically you want that to go foot to head because the ball leaves your foot at a higher velocity and it would leave someone else's head.
No one would think it's Murphy. Murphy the chip. Oh, that's filth. Oh, wow. What a great chip that is to beat Bori Bartlett coming up to narrow the angle.
I hear they make some really good salsa in Rome.
Ain't nothing.
That would inspire a chip like that.
Yeah, there we go. I'll personally make mine with salt and malt vinegar. Now it looks like he might get one right back. McAllister has a bounce off a couple of Romana defenders. End up with Cortez, but a good tackle there by Milton Nunez, and he clears for danger now. Well, there,
And now
back in
I
field for
know.
King.
And now I know why you called it filth.
Murphy ended up getting an equalizer there while I just tried to stonewall my commentator. Except the flag
Josh,
was up, but he didn't raise a flag.
he was offside, so someone else yelled at the
Okay, he did raise the
referee.
flag. It's just that he had it down by the time of a whistle blew, and I looked over there and I didn't see the flag. I was like, wait a second, that doesn't seem right. But no, was offside after the deflection and wasn't ruled enough to be playing at the ball, so fortunately Murphy remained offside. The equalizer goes begging, and there's the goal right back. Not quite the 2-goal swing of last time when Romana had a chance to equalize, but Milan Horvat ends up getting himself another one.
What a weird goal. Of course, it takes a bounce off a AC Romana defender, but that was a tackle made by Nunez to prevent the goal from Papadopoulos. I think it bounced off of his foot to Milan Horvat's foot, who just puts it back of the net.
Yeah, it was one of the Nunez brothers, I think Tyson, that made the tackle to stop Papadopoulos having an open look, but I mean, Horvat just decided to bring up some support and ends up with the open opportunity and slots it through. Now Paddy looking to perhaps make it 5. A centering ball for Bull, but just put over the top.
Do you feel like the stats are successfully padded at this point?
I don't think they'll feel like they're successfully padded, but for myself, yeah.
Yeah, definitely a better game for the offense than the defensive stats, for sure.
Yep. There's an opportunity off an indirect free kick, but went a fraction early. Mana with less than a minute to play now, according to the stoppage time, 3 added minutes. But we'll look to clear it deep, but ends up with Washburn. This one looks like it'll be a Gallic victory. AS Paddy as Brisky's cross blocked there by Fast Latito, went back for Horvat. Bucks back in field, tried to look for Horvat on a through ball, but blocked out by Milton Nunez. Across from McAllister, but ends up being intercepted by Tyson Nunez. They might have one last opportunity here, though, Rome, to put it within 1. Murphy just decides to flick it back for Milton Nunez. And that will do us. Yes, Paddy take a 4-2 away victory to seal their title and then some. And a great match for them. They had a great offensive skill. Milan Horvat the double, Jay Brisky the 2 assists, and probably deserved a third as well.
Yeah, but if you're AC Romana, I think you take a look at the game stats at the end of the match, and the scoreline's a little harsh. They played well, did AC Romana. Really, this is a 1-2 game. It's 2-4, right? So
Right.
uh, they're going to be excited about what they can do next year, and then have another off season to add to the talent that's already there.
Yep.
So I'm excited what they can do. I'm
Yeah.
excited to see what they can do.
I definitely feel like they gave themselves a good building block for next season, I mean, sure, the goal difference doesn't look great at a -12, but I mean, you've secured a spot that's better than a team that was relegated last season, so you can't really fault the effort. But one team that could surpass AC Romana on the table now is playing, and a win for them would be huge in spoiling the party of CA Buenos Aires.
Yeah, no, Buenos Aires secure their promotion here with a win. Anything less than that, and Montreal have an opportunity to spoil.
Yep.
But
Um, So it looks like a 4-3-3 DM wide for Buenos Aires, while Reykjavik have opted for the 4-2-3-1.
Fate really in Buenos Aires' hands here. We will see what happens.
Yeah, they control their destiny.
And at home too.
Yeah, would be a huge victory for them to send them up. They are underway. Vera immediately, they want to try and get on the front foot here with Tali. He opts to pass it off to Gorkov. Was, I think, hit with a heel of Tali, but saved there by Lua Lua.
So this should be a pretty aggressive match from both sides. I say that now. Both teams are being instructed to play on a more aggressive sort of manner, but it could end in a stalemate.
Yeah, sometimes you just got to meet that aggression with aggression, as Tali's shot ends up being blocked by Letitia and went out for a corner kick. Gorkov goes inside. Brooks Patron tried to meet it, but was headed out by, I believe, Roberto Scarpetta.
If both teams are trying to hold the ball for more often, it's going to kind of average out. Or the better team holds the ball for longer.
Perhaps so, as another attack trying to mount here. Vanderslov just won it back from Claudio Scarpetta. Gaverna sends Tali in. Gamble and lost from Lua Lua. Imo Tali has currently got Buenos Aires heading up.
Buenos Aires in promotion fever, and Imo Tali in some fine form. 10th goal this season for Tali, the midfielder, known for often streaking up from this midfield position and contributing on these breakaways. I think he scored a hat trick at one point in time.
Yeah, I mean, that time it was just beat Roberto Scarpetta to the punch there and had just an easy route through. And Buenos Aires end up with a 1-0 lead early on, and they're looking to quickly make a 2 here as Vanderslov looks over to Gorka from the left side, back in field. Shot by Tali was low and saved.
Tali might as well be the striker here. The actual striker you see up top there is Gaverno. He's already on a yellow card, so maybe that's why he's playing a little more cautiously. Unless my eyes are
yeah, I think that's
deceiving me.
your eyes deceiving you there. It looks like it's fine. As there's Roberto Scarpetta has it taken away by Tali. Oh,
Listen, the
Tali.
grass looks yellow, the pants look yellow, the orange looks yellow.
One could say that. Calavera, shot blocked out by Ladiva. Anislov now in back in for Calavera. Great save. Lua Lua near post and cleared from danger. And no yellow cards have been issued yet, but Gaverna does have the assist on the Tali goal.
That's correct. That's just me saying Antonio Gaverno deserves a yellow card, you know?
Yeah, I also think that anyone that assists and does not score deserves yellows. It's a fact of life. Please don't look at my own stats. Calavera looked at Tali again, but corrected it wide.
They have to have someone mark Tali at this point. He's just too free to do whatever he wants at that midfield.
Quite unfortunate that he's not able to do very much as Zaid finds O'Rourke. Pressured there by Vanderslov. Back out to Lopta. Now Scarpetta. Ball. Trying to work it upfield. Not really able to find anyone as of yet. Scarpetta. Back over to Mataski. Now O'Rourke. Try to swing it over for Lopta. Couldn't get anywhere though, and just back over to Oakdown on that Buenos Aires back pass. Gorkov now over to Tali. Calavera, counter-attack mounting. Vanderslov beating Claudio Scarpetta. He beats Lua Lua. It's 2-0.
That's twice now Lua Lua has come out to make a challenge, and twice they have been beat by Buenos Aires strikers. This one was just a run-around play by Edwin Vanderslov. Smart by him to just outweight the keeper here and tucks that into an empty net after beating the last defender.
Yeah, I mean, he just had a clear run, and once he had the opportunity, he ends up sending it home. Beautiful work there Now they're looking to make it free immediately. Gorkov 1-on-1. Letitia got back in time and makes the block.
That's Vanderswap on a yellow though.
Hopefully shouldn't see them down to 10 men anytime soon. Like now Calavera. Another opportunity and now another counter-attack mounting. There it goes back to Brooks Patron. Now back in Vanderslov. Vanderslov being his Scarpetta. Nearly gave away a penalty there, Claudio. Governo had it blocked by Claudio again for a corner.
Minute of extra time now. Stoppage time.
Yep. Well, I mean, 2 minutes added on, but nothing else occurs in that. And Buenos Aires, I mean, they've completely shut them out, honestly.
Well, there's nothing more to say than that. Yeah, it's no shots for Reykjavik. They have had possession though. They've had 58% possession of the ball, which is really a testament to how well Buenos Aires are playing as a unit. To be able to keep the opponent on 58% possession, but not allow them a single shot in that half. That's incredible.
Yeah, I mean, not even a single shot, not alone shot on target, just a single shot. They have not had any looks on net for O'Rourke or Andrews or anyone. Reykjavik, you know, if you want to secure promotion, that's a good way to do it. Just don't let them shoot.
Agreed.
I mean, you know, even if you weren't able to score, you just opted to park the bus and not allow them a single shot and hold the ball for 90 minutes. That still means that Montreal need to make up a 12-0 victory over Adowa Accra. So, I mean, they'll probably still be throwing the kitchen sink at them.
Yeah,
No
Buenos
matter what
Aires are
occurs.
in a luxury position where they don't need to win. They would prefer they did, but they don't need it.
Yep.
And that allows them to play with a sort of freedom. And we're seeing that today.
I mean, they've been just working it all around the park and finding everyone else to be involved. Here's Knight. Oh, maybe could have been a foul there. Oh, what a save, though. Perhaps if that would have been a penalty, they would have gone very differently. But looked like Averno was brought down without the ball. Ends up giving it right back, though. Gorkov, and again, Lua called upon to make a tough save.
I think we're seeing how Buenos Aires are kind of generating this pressure again. A lot of these quick, over-the-top counter balls, and a lot of high pressing.
Yeah, I mean, the high press can usually result in great things if they end up paying off for them, but it just feels like more of it's just kind of brain fades that Reykjavik have had of late is ended up giving two honest chances that probably could have doubled Buenos Aires' lead, having to convert them as Knight shot over and wide.
Yeah, that's over every day of the week.
Trying to pick out Governo, but headed away that time by Roberto Scarpetta. Cleaned up there by Brooks Patron. Right, looks back in field for Governo. Back to him, and now Tali is back tonight. Calavera, center of the park, tries a long shot. Ladiva's block was up for grabs, but a 50-50 ball won by Claudio Scarpetta. Patron in. Vanderslof, a shot over the top. Now Governo sent free on a clearance by Siegwald of Katarina. Looked back in field. Vanderslof blocked by Claudio and headed out by Ladiva.
This match is very quickly ticking away without any chances going Reykjavik's way. Could this be their first?
This might be an opportunity to finally put a shot on net. No, it's well, not at least not for now. Gorkov just cleared it out for, but only as far as Hall. Then Matarsky, now Andrews. Slow build up here. Tissier, low cross. I don't even know if I would count that as a shot.
Well, CFFM counts out as your shot. It's your 0.01 XG shot, if anything.
And this late in the game, it might give it a 0.02. As now Vanderslav a shot, but saved by Lua.
It went all the way the other way.
Yep. Gorkov and then a knight. Didn't look like that was registered as a shot, but we will double check the stats after this. Vanderslav, who makes it free. And Buenos Aires, you can say they're going up now. Denied last time, won't be this time. What a beautiful cap to a beautiful season.
Listen to those fans. They are ecstatic. This is going to be Buenos Aires' first time in Division 1. So congratulations to them. The game's not over yet, but without a single shot on net, I don't see Reykjavik getting 3 goals.
Yeah, I mean, they thought it was all over, and, I think the third goal was enough to secure it. 3 goals in 7 minutes was an absolute reach, and with the time that has ticked down, doesn't look like they'll even have a chance for one.
Last throw-in of the season for Buenos Aires, and referees don't want to. Nope, I misread it. 1 as a 2. Or as a 2 as 1.
I think I did about last time. It was 1 minute stoppage time, but perhaps Reykjavik looking for one more. Adam Knight ended up heading it out for a throw-in. So not the last throw-in of the match. Perhaps this will be the last throw-in of Reykjavik season. But Tissier finds Zaid. Can he at least mount a shot? Matarsky ends up having an intercepted by Gorkov. And that is Buenos Aires heading to Division 1 without allowing a single shot and only 1 corner. An absolute domination offensively, and really, what a way to secure yourself that final ticket.
This is the masterclass for Buenos Aires. This is the cherry on top of their season. And what a way to go up. What a way to win yourself promotion. What a match from Edwin Vanderslav. 2 goals. He had that yellow card there, showing some pride for the shirt, fighting for the badge, as they would say.
Yeah, I mean, you play for the badge on the front, not the name on your back, and I think that was beautifully played there by Buenos Aires to see them through. Now we
Quite
go
deserved.
on. Yep, go on.
Quite deserved. If you had to ask me, that team has been building for a couple of seasons now. Really since the expansion draft, and have kind of grown into their own identity, and they look really good.
Yeah, and I mean, I do have to agree there because, I mean, some people may have thought they got robbed last season. I mean, we saw what happened with Karpstad, who went up previous year and got absolutely hammered in Division 1 and saw themselves pretty much go down with 4 match days left. So now they get their opportunity to prove themselves, and while Montreal won't know it at this time, they will not be playing for that promotion spot. They're locked into 3rd now for this match against Adowa Accra.
Yeah, I believe these matches are actually played around the globe simultaneously. We're just shoveling in and out of time to watch them, at the same time, theoretically.
Exactly. For Adowa Accra, they're only really just playing for the win, as we know, because a win would see them surpass the team that just lost in Reykjavik United and put them into 6th place. As that one will not be the way to start. It's Dominic Vilk who finds Charles Andrew Simon at Leah Baralunga. The casual header and a casual goal makes it 1-0.
I love that call. That's the one to clip. Thank you. What a great goal. What a great header by Casual. And you might have wanted to see a better effort from your goalkeeper, but at the same time, you probably wanted to see a better effort from the defender in the first place.
Yeah, I just think Luke Larak just kind of got caught flat-footed from the header and didn't expect it to go to his far post and ended up conceding that one. I mean, again, it's nothing more than a position. Perhaps I just do want to tank with a draft stock. So there's no real reason to try and win.
Nothing but pride. Montreal playing at home in front of their fans, so a win would be nice.
Is Casual again an opportunity, but it's just shoveled away by Llewellyn. Toki Wartooth shot is wide and out for a goal kick.
The Accra team relegated last season, so this year has been a rebuild year for them. I'm sure they would like to end it off in a win.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like the Montreal side has gone for 5-2-3 and is playing Toki Wartooth out of position, out of a wing-back role instead of his usual standard defending spot. Nothing really to play for here, of course, as Larak goes back. Wartooth ends up getting it back and tries a shot, but again, out for a goal kick.
Accra
Yes.
Accra playing in a bit of a aggressive 4-1-2-1-2.
Finally, we get to call it that now.
The reason I say aggressive and awkward is the wingbacks are not on the defensive line. They're on the defensive midfield line.
Ooh, interesting. Definitely a...
So it's sort of like a two at the back system.
Yeah. Now it looks like Accra will try and get an equaliser here with Berbatov, but a great save there, Brian Duke.
But it functions as a four at the back system with those wingbacks.
Right, of course. Now Casual, chased down by Selick and ends up having it pushed out. Now we're into the stoppage time of the first half. Llewellyn has to clear it up for Wartooth. Only now to the Freddy. Can we get something to perhaps equalise? It's Konstantin Selic tries a chip and George Vanterbens got back in time. Wow, what a way to stop an equaliser.
What a goal line clearance strategy from Vanterbens. First shot, second shot for Accra. That's not going to count as a shot on target, I think? Or is it? I'm not quite sure. But cleared off the line there, and that's going to save Montreal at the half. Otherwise, they would have a rather different conversation, I'm sure, at halftime. I think that you still have that conversation if you're the coach, but now the scoreline is 1-0 as opposed to 1-1.
I think I did very well to stop that from making it 1-1. I mean, have to credit George Vanterbens, you know. You give him as much credit as you can as the game continues to remain 1-0. It looks like Accra trying to perhaps get a slow build-up in play. Looney now up for Selick. Almost one away there by Funyuns. Now Selic again. Taken away there by Vanterbens, and Wartooth looks to launch for counter. Ends up finding Wilk. Wilk, oh, great tackle there. Taco Cat, though, just won the ball right back. Berbatov now, the Silver Druid. Selic sent free. Does he have a chance? Blocked again by George Vanterbens. But it matters. Someone was offside.
I think it matters. Vanterbens has been very much all over the place in terms of effective positioning in the pitch. And I do mean this in a good way. He's been everywhere he's needed to be, and more.
Yeah, do have to agree that the way he's been has just been kind of a thorn in the side of Konstantin Selic. I mean, again, the play, it was more so about, you know, it wouldn't have mattered in the grand scheme of things given that the play was blown dead. Pedersen will flick it over the top there for Vilk. Vilk back in for Wartooth. Wartooth works to Funyuns. Dominic Vilk right in front, had no angle, and Lorak ends up just taking the save right in front of him.
Good movement by Wilk to get past the defender off the ball.
Direct free kick there, ended up hitting the wall, and Freddie just sent it out for a throw-in.
Direct free kick, sent out for a direct throw-in.
Well, I don't think it was so much as an indirect. I don't know if you can have direct throw-in, actually, because I think all throw-ins have to be indirect.
Can you
Like
not
that
throw
touch.
directly to the foot of another player?
Well, that's not really what indirect means. Either way, there's a goal kick on a just missed header. Now for Llewellyn. Cleared long for Berbatov. Berbatov turns round. And then it's cleared out there. With Minone. Pedersen. Pedersen infield looking for Casual, and he's got his second. And that is a huge one for this one. Surely one would think now they've secured it.
Much less casual header here, but still just as effective. Casual showing us he can do it with style and power today. And Luka Roque able to get the right direction, just not enough speed on that. Unfortunately, Casual put too much venom into the ball, and
now he's Selic, and he hits right back.
is he onside? Flag does stay down, so yeah, that's gonna count. He's been looking for this one all match, and the defenders have been all over them. In the moment of celebration, he was able to sneak past Fanto Benz. Unfortunate for Fanto Benz. He's been great this match. That's going to count as an error on his side.
Yeah, just unlucky there to miss out perhaps as another opportunity here. Pedersen across for Vilk, and then the ball was just kind of caroming around, and I think it came off of Casual and ended up out for the goal kick.
Casual looking for the header hat trick, the legendary hat trick, of course.
Yeah, a true hat trick, one might say, as that one's tipped over by Larak and ends up out for a corner.
A true hat trick indeed, the hat trick for your head.
Funyuns has that corner cleared out by Dimitar Berbatov. Remains 2-1, and one would have to hope if you are Adowa Accra, they might be able to perhaps mount the equalizer. Back with Duke. Looks like I'll just try and work it clear now. Have time to spare. Funyuns looking deep now for Wartooth. Wartooth just trying to step back in field. And the ball just pops up in the air. Larak comes out and is able to get it. Very well do with an equalizer here. Ready now for Druid.
Still about 10
chance.
minutes.
Oh, Duke a save, and Williams clears it.
Still about 10 minutes in this game. We're not done yet, so that equalizer could come, and it could come quick.
Yep. Wartooth will try and see it out. That being out with Casual. And he's Llewellyn to the punch and ends up going through now. Oh, is nearly headed through by Minone. Larak was there to make the save and just keeps it to a 1-goal game. He's Machu, heads it back in the air, and the counter-attack is on again. Here's Casual. Back to Jersey Motor. We haven't seen much of him this match. Edison, locked out by Druid, took a bit of a weird carom, cleared out by Fanadian. And now Accra. Can they get a counter moving? Selic. The outside of Fantabens, worked in field. Silver Druid's header. It's over the top.
They're getting closer, though. It feels like every time Accra have a chance to counter, they're getting just a little closer. Oh.
Casual won a penalty, but I think Llewellyn got the ball before he got the man. Worked
Yeah,
back
that was...
Wartooth in for Manone. Shot. Oh, that was tapped. At least deflected there by Deanne. Either way, Larak ends up with the ball. Up to hoof it clear. 7.5 minutes left in regulation. Silver Druid sends through Berbatov. Is he offside? Yes, he is. The equalizer stands, and a huge one for Accra.
I did call it. They've been pressing and they've been pushing. It certainly looked like they would find an opportunity. They got close last time, and this time they find their way through. It's Dimitar Berbatov. He is playing in, I believe, the false 9 role today, but looked like a striker there to me.
Yeah, I mean, credit to him, did quite well and ended up getting the equalizer, but they might not be done just yet. Vilk nearly got himself a foul there. Druid finds Selic. He hit the post with the shot, and it's out for a goal kick. Kick ends up with Machu. Now Wilk. Sorry, it's an indirect free kick, not a corner kick, I think. Wasn't quite sure where the ball came from. Either way, Williams a drive, and it hit the bar and stayed out.
I think that was off a finger of the keeper and onto the bar.
They didn't award that a corner, so I think that must have barely missed it. Jersey Motor ends up finding a ball though and clears it. Casual, worked back for Manon. Wilk has space on the right flank if they go to it. He was right there. Didn't quite go to him yet. Casual tried one and ended up hitting Llewellyn though, and there's a corner kick. 2 minutes on the board, just held up now by the fourth official. Onions, the corner. Trying to find a man, cleared out Taco Cat. Cat being hounded there by Wilk, but pushed out for a throw. Deep Funyuns intercepts Vilk, now Wartooth. Llewellyn. The Schenkinger worked back. It might just be content to take the point here, even though it would mean that they remain in 7th. A good sign for the future as that one worked long, but Pedersen able to cover the D and run off. Now Manone is in deep behind the defense. Freddy got back though and cleared. Antabens worked back in for Pedersen. Manone again. The right back. Tried a through ball, but no one in particular is there. Whittington will get there, and I think this might secure it here. Mahoney now. This looks like they'll stay in the center here despite the rush. And Montreal draws 2-2 with Accra at home. Even if they had been able to get the right result, they weren't able to convert the chance. And Montreal United end up finishing in 3rd place, guaranteed with that. No matter where, they would know it. Adowa Accra got themselves a point for a late equalizer. Well played by them to be able to hold on and end up getting a late one.
Yeah, I agree. It was well played by Accra overall. They fought back into this match. Overall, had looked run over in that first half, but they did what they needed to do to come back, and credit to them. They've done that all year.
Yep. And well, now it is a rematch of perhaps what I thought was the worst game I ever saw. It is Red Star now playing at home against Seoul Mythic. The last time these two teams faced off in the league, Seoul put up 12 goals. I really don't want to see a repeat of this, please.
I wasn't the one casting that match, some would say thankfully, but I kind of want to see it happen again because I'm a fan of chaos.
You're a sicko. You're a sick human being.
I've never denied this.
Suppose not. Seoul, however, will have the first opportunity here with a Kocha. And a shot there was tipped over by Nelly Selly. Now for a corner. Played in, but was headed away by Furious Chicken. Swept up by Kjell Holmberg. Hugh Mann, another drive in, but Selly that time comes out to stop a Kocha from getting his head to it. Marley holds on to it. What of a tactic we're seeing from them.
So Laos have decided to come out today in a 4-2-1-1-2.
I think here's Paul a shot and saved by Selly for a corner. Is there any real special variance to how they're playing it? Who's playing wide in that scenario?
No one. It is a very narrow formation.
Ah, yes, the corridor play. And as for the side of Lao,
No, that is Lao. I apologize. Seoul are in a 3-3-4.
wow, that's
The hesitation I say is because the three are, well, they have defensive wingers instead of any wingbacks, and they have Mueller in the midfield.
okay. So one could also just as easily call it perhaps just a 5-3-2, I guess. Just depends.
No, you could probably call this a 3-1-6. This is as close as you're gonna get.
Again.
Yeah.
That header ends up behind the net. I think I was off with Azevedo. Neuer will clear deep. Sent back by Mega Mind, but you man tries to send Aloisi through, but good cover, Mazrim time. Back to it. Paye trying to send through Chicken. Holmberg looks like he has her uncovered and does. Blocks the shot, sweeps it up, and sent out for a throw.
But
pretty
if
much,
I'm honest,
much behind the bit as he could. Yes.
if I'm honest, I'm excited about the Seoul formation. I've always wanted to try something like this, where they have the defensive wingers instead of the wingbacks.
Suppose it'll have to be a wait and see. Direct free kick, sending one in for Furious Chicken, who beat Holmberg in the air and put it to the far post. And Manuel Neuer wasn't able to stop that one. 1-0 to Lao early on.
Great far post goal here by Furious Chicken. He's had this happen a couple times. He's shown he's able to get into the right positions and put the ball in the perfect spots. I think he's got a very bright future ahead of him.
Indeed. Well there to meet it with a head and then get up there. Chicken now trying to find Clever's Paye. A shot saved by Neuer. That'll be out for a corner. Line whips in and headed away by Barocca Aloisi. Azevedo. And back here now with Johnson, and nothing develops. "20 minutes gone, and Laos still just holding currently onto this 1-0 lead. And now in, oh, with another chance of Furious Chicken to perhaps make it a double, and it just didn't pay off that time. Danny Paul taken away there by direct free kick and cleared long by Tio. Holmberg just got it back out for Tenderloin, and now Ryan. Ryan trying to work against time. Now Laudrup. Azevedo now looking for the direct free kick. Try to be covered off there by Juracek. Back in for Tio. Paye now. Azevedo a shot, but didn't find anyone to beat. Ball now. Over to Okocha. Far post. Back in, Aloisi! Oh, that was a beautiful strike that got turned down. Really?
Flag is up. The entirety of Seoul is offside here.
Was that not Aloisi that scored it, who had been behind the line?
Someone from Seoul is very offside, whether or not they influence the play, that's another question. But again, whether or not Marcus Rashford influenced the play, that's also the question.
I mean, all of that's questionable, honestly, in my opinion. But I mean, who am I to judge? Here's Hugh Mann with a breakaway. Oh, barely blocked out there by Berry, and another direct free kick. Just went to the wall. Chad Johnson. Good save, Neuer. Another corner here. Seoul looking to try and deliver an equalizer. They've been close a couple times. Oh, and pork tenderloin nearly had it there too. %40 of the way through the match, and Laos looking to make it a double here. The Furious Chicken, and Manuel Neuer was at full stretch to stop that one. Keeps it to 1, though the corner ends up being headed out by Cole Mertz. With Laudrup, time again. Azevedo. Name is in all capitals. I feel obligated to yell it, and that one, I think, was Chad Johnson, who just sent it to no man's land. I don't know what Kako efforts befell him there as Paul walked over to Ryan Aloisi. The drive, the goal. Can't deny that one. And it's an equalizer for Seoul at last.
You can look at Red Star Laos shirts all day, but I'll tell you, Brock Aloisi is onside every day this week. And what a shot that was.
Hey,
typically we see
walked into one.
Typically we see him finish with how he did earlier with that head of his, able to get up above a lot of defenders. But what a drive with the foot this time. Like you said, just stepped into it.
Yeah, I mean, when you get an opportunity to walk into a shot and really just put all your power behind it, he still couldn't really do much to stop that one, and nearly couldn't do anything to stop that one either, though Hugh Mann ends up having his header saved for corner. There's another opportunity, but I think fell for Aloisi, but was blocked by a defender as Cole Mertz with that header attempt is wide.
So that definitely changes the perspective of both teams headed into halftime here.
It's not quite done yet. Trying another cross in. Furious Chicken heads it clear. Lundberg first to it, followed by Tio. And Tenderloin try to whip one out to Danny Paul. Ended up getting it to him, surprisingly. Gone over for a Kocha. Tried to send him past for Megamind. Sorry, Megamind that cleared it. I think it was intended for Aloisi. Lundberg over to Ryan. Trying to beat times with a punch, but ends up losing that duel. Shots in there to Laudrup. Does Laudrup have a long shot left in him? Goes over to Tio. Now direct free kick. He has a long shot, but he's off target and takes us to halftime. Look at the chances that Seoul have had. 6 shots on target, and really feels like they should have produced more from the opportunities they've had.
So, interestingly enough, both teams are about equal here, in my opinion. The XG is better in Seoul's favor, which just means the quality of chances that they've had have been better. The looks they have been better, and given the way that they're playing, I'm not surprised, right? They have so many attackers. The problem is they only have 3 defenders, and that happens from time to time. You see these 3 back formations all the time, but today it's especially emphasized by the fact that they really don't have any defensive whip, right?
Yeah.
And we're seeing Red Star Laos take advantage of that, which in my opinion is also surprising because they're playing in a very narrow formation, but we're seeing the players naturally kind of drift to the open space available to them.
So there's a, wow, what a header. Mega Mind came in from the back line to head that one in with so much ferocity. No one saw it coming there, not even us.
Well, with a head as big as Mega Mind's, someone should have seen this coming.
Yeah, I mean, that was just a giga brain free kick there that paid off for them. Now, Slough find themselves in the lead again. Something that perhaps might feel foreign to fans of theirs is Liam Ryan trying another drive, but that head over the bar there by Human.
I feel like we've not yet mentioned, but a win here for Laos would be the first of their season.
Yeah, first of the team's existence, considering they are an expansion franchise only added in this year, as now the three defenders might be exploded here. Laudrup is being followed by Mertz, enough to make sure they didn't end up coming in through. Times cross cleared out by Holmberg. Now it looks like Solar going to have their own counterattack. Aloisi going against Megamind, centering ball. Hugh, man, oh, he really should have put that one on target. I feel like that's kind of been the story of Seoul, that the shots they haven't been able to put on net have been the reason why they are down in this match.
He had time to. Someone should have screamed at him to just hold the ball a little longer, take 1-2 more touches, and just get that in the direction of the keeper.
Yeah, perhaps he just thought of what Aloisi had done, where he just walked into one and just decided to take the one-timer. Rather than trying to take the step and work out where to go from there, just opted for power rather than finesse, and that's probably where it ended up failing him. Ryan now, low cross there for Aloisi, crossed over now for Chiracek into the netting.
I certainly thought that was saved by the keeper, but no, that went wide, very wide.
I don't know if I would call it very wide, considering it did end up in the side of the net, but did not miss by much. Come out to play this one.
Wrong side of the
Eventually, easy
goalpost
1-1.
is probably a better way to
Yeah.
explain that one.
Yep. Now to Okocha, trying an inside ball there for Man, but with how many players in the center of last formation, it's no surprise we're able to turn that one away. Ryan now. Working against Pai, goes back Okocha. Now in field for Aloisi. Aloisi finds Liam Ryan on a run. Can he convert? Yes! First goal of his career. The South Sydney boy, Liam Ryan from Townsville, North Queensland, ends up putting home an equaliser to open his SSL career's account.
What a run this is, even off the ball. The play does start with Ryan and finish with Ryan here. And again, great finish.
Yeah, I mean, he's playing the defensive winger role, so ends up converting that one on the 63rd minute. Has so many assists that he's had. I mean, he had plenty in the last game against Laos. He even assisted the Aloisi goal, and now gets a bit of reciprocation.
Yeah, Aloisi on the assist there. Really, really happy with the way Aloisi has kind of grown into his role as an SSL forward. He's become a bit of a hybrid that creates just as often as he attacks.
Yep, it's a lovely thing to watch as Azevedo makes an intercept there on Jiracek. Finds Furious Chicken, head down for Paye. Everyone tried to make a challenge, wasn't able to do anything with it. Headed over, Furious Chicken headed it over.
Yeah, I don't think the SSL can afford concussion medical staff. So down here in League 2, Division 2, they just go wild.
I don't know. I feel like they do that I feel like we have a bunch of concussion stuff in Division 2. They just aren't good. Or perhaps they're the best, and we just don't know. Azevedo, a drive, saved by Tenderloin. Tio now for Johnson. Interrupt there. Tenderloin ends up clearing that one from danger.
In the SSL multiverse, doctors have learned how to cure CTE. It does not exist.
Good to know. Man, try to find a Kochi there. Intercepted by Megamind there, but end up right back with him. Danny Paul! Oh, goodness, what a long drive. Danny Paul makes it 3-2. Red Star Laos, hopes of winning, now very much out of a balance.
Bring out the golf club for Danny Paul, because what a drive this is! Into that bottom left-hand side. That's where the last one went too.
Yep,
and he's very much onside.
Yeah. About a body width gap between the two, tight, but definitely enough to say he was on. And Seoul finally able to convert some chances. have the lead in this match. Definitely not that 11 goal lead I've ever had before. Well, 9 goals, sorry, I was getting it wrong. 13-2 was not it, it was 12-3. Make sure we get those right. Man now to Paul. Closely followed by Barry. An insurance goal would almost certainly secure their victory here. Wouldn't mean they could get up into third. They knew that was out of the question, but it would secure them fourth by a good margin. Ryan down for JJ Okocha. Oh, and there's the dagger. Game blouses season.
5th goal of the season for our Seoul striker. And no doubt he would have been looking to add a little more to his season, but I'm sure he'll be happy to end it on a high note.
Yeah, it does feel like Okocha has been relatively quiet after his previous campaigns. But, I mean, Liam Ryan again as well. Just put that short header in and ended up just letting Okocha run onto the ball and beautifully pulled through. It was Ryan now to Aloisi. Okocha again. It was nearly the same shot, but he was offside.
Seoul in rhythm now. The last 15 minutes really found that third gear, as we refer.
Now Juracek will send it over to Ryan. Now Okocha. Okocha, long drive save. Sally out for a corner.
JJ just work once, so he's gonna try it again and again and again.
Yep. Might as well, right? You know, if it succeeds, you might as well run it once more. There's another Okocha crossing attempt out for a corner and probably just whittling more time off the clock here. Okocha again a drive, but was saved. Muller has no angle. It's being worked to the outside of the area. It's back for Mertz. All of style outcome out to try and stop it, but to no avail. Because nothing they could have done could have stopped the end of this match. Seoul Mythic with 3 goals in the last half hour gets them a victory after a 32-shot game.
Yeah, next second half explosion from Seoul, really. It was more equal in that first half. I mentioned it at halftime. It kind of felt like both teams were equal on even par, right? And for a good 60 minutes they were. And then Seoul just kind of kicked the doors down.
Yeah, I mean, Liam Ryan kind of just took over the game, honestly. He had so many chances that he was able to create, ended up getting his first goal of the season. JJ Okocha also with a goal and the assist, and Liam Ryan, I think, deservedly with a Player of the Match award.
Yeah, 2 assists on that game as well. So 3 goal contributions overall, and that will do it for both their seasons and for Division 2.
Yep. I mean,
Confirmed promoted. Esperi.
Yeah.
See Buenos Aires. Congratulations. We'll see you in Division 1.
Yep. And as for Montreal, Seoul, Romana, Reykjavik, Accra, and Red Star Lao, they'll be joined by Inter London and Kapstad.
Neither of those 2 teams strangers to these 6.
Yep. They ended up being up there last season, or 2 seasons ago, rather. And well, I guess you could call it 2 seasons ago. They promoted, and this last season, they end up being sent back down, one much closer than the other. And with that, that will do us. Still have a cup final to come. We look forward to seeing you there. But as for the rest of the Simulation Soccer League staff and Sarah Voices creator, I've been Socc. We'll see you next season.
Bye.